Every time you swipe that shiny credit card and watch your cashback balance tick upward, you feel like a financial genius. It feels like getting free money, points, and airport lounge access just for buying groceries. But let's be real. When was the last time a multi-billion-dollar bank gave you something for free out of the goodness of its heart? Never. While you are celebrating your 2% cash back, credit card companies are quietly pocketing tens of billions of dollars from that exact same swipe. In fact, there is a secret, invisible tax built into almost everything you buy, and it means the poorest people in America are actively subsidizing your beach vacation. To understand where this free money actually comes from, we have to look behind the scenes in the 3 seconds after you tap your card at a local coffee shop. Let's say you buy a latte for $5. You tap, the machine beeps, you grab your drink, and you walk out. But the owner of that coffee shop isn't celebrating because they don't get to keep that full $5. They only see something like $4.83. The missing 17 cents gets swallowed up by what is broadly called the merchant fee, which is the total all-inclusive cost a business pays just to accept your card. Now, this total fee is split among a few different players, but the absolute biggest chunk of it is called the interchange fee. To put it simply, merchant fee is the total deduction the store suffers at checkout, while the interchange fee is the specific toll paid directly to your issuing bank to fund your rewards. Think of Visa and MasterCard as setting up the card payment highway, but it's your bank collecting that fat interchange toll just for moving the data and taking on the risk. In the United States, this fee averages anywhere from 1.5% to 3.5%. Multiply that by every single purchase, at every store, across the country, and it adds up to something truly staggering. According to data from the Nielsen report, in 2024 alone, credit card companies extracted $148 billion in swipe fees from American businesses. And here is where merchants start grinding their teeth. The heavier and more exclusive your rewards card is, the higher the fee the merchant has to pay. So when you flash that premium card to get your flight miles, your bank is actually forcing that small business owner to hand over a much bigger piece of their lunch just to fund your perks. But small businesses aren't just sitting there taking the hit, they've found a way to pass the bill to someone else, creating a brutal economic paradox. Small businesses can't just absorb a 3% loss on every single sale, so they do the only logical thing. They raise their prices across the board. They bump the price of everything up by 3% for everyone to cover the cost of those card fees. Imagine a low-income worker paying for their groceries using hard cash. They are forced to pay an inflated price but receive zero rewards or cash back. Meanwhile, a wealthy doctor walks in right behind them, buys the exact same groceries with a premium card, and gets a massive chunk of points that pays for a luxury resort stay. Data from the Federal Reserve shows that high-income credit card users receive over $1,000 a year in rewards, heavily subsidized by families who pay with cash. It is a reverse Robin Hood effect. The system is engineered to fund the travel perks of the wealthy using the poorest shoppers in America. But don't get too comfortable, because the banks have classified every single one of us into specific psychological profiles, and their favorite target might surprise you. In the secret internal memos of the banking world, credit card users are split into 3 distinct categories based on how they handle debt. First, you have the revolvers. These are the people who carry a balance month to month, get hit with massive interest, and make the bank obscenely rich. Next up, we have the deadbeats. Sounds like a harsh insult, right? But in the credit card industry, this is the actual slang word for transactors. The incredibly responsible people who use cards purely for rewards, pay off their entire balance on time, and never pay a single penny in interest. Now, you might assume banks absolutely hate these interest-free deadbeats, but that is a complete myth. The bizarre truth is, banks love deadbeats, because those fat interchange fees mean you are still a high-volume fee generator every single time you swipe. Finally, there are the churners. These are the aggressive spreadsheet warriors who open 10 different cards a year just to harvest the massive sign-up bonuses, fly for free, and then close the accounts. Banks try to filter out the churners, but they absolutely love deadbeats and revolvers, and to keep both groups swiping, the credit card companies have engineered a psychological trap so powerful it can instantly override your common sense without you even realizing it. Tapping a piece of plastic completely detaches your brain from financial reality. It is the exact same reason casinos make you change your cash into plastic chips. Once your money looks like a video game score, you stop treating it like real money. The banks make sure the rules are confusing, waving a beautiful 5% cashback headline that only applies to rotating categories, up to strict spending caps, if you remember to activate it on an app. It is a coupon-shaped fishing lure designed to hook you, and it works so well that a famous study from MIT proved people are willing to pay significantly higher prices, sometimes 100% higher, when buying something with a credit card instead of cash. This massive mountain of fee revenue has triggered an absolute war between retail giants like Walmart, who are fighting to legally crush swipe fees, and mega banks, who are threatening to wipe out your rewards completely if they lose. But while the corporate titans duke it out, you don't have to be a victim. There is a blueprint to outsmarting this entire game. Credit card rewards aren't inherently evil, and you don't need to shred your cards and buy groceries with a jar of coins. If used correctly, credit cards offer cash back, travel perks, and fraud protection. But you have to know the rules of the game you are playing. Rule number 1. If you are carrying credit card debt, stop chasing rewards. A 2% cashback card cannot outrun a 25% interest rate. If you are paying interest, you aren't winning rewards, you are funding the bank's rewards. Rule number 2. Never spend extra just to get points. If you buy a $200 item, you don't need just to get $4 back. You didn't earn $4. You wasted $196 for a tiny emotional consolation prize. Rule number 3. Always read the fine print. That flashy 5% cashback ad usually drops down to 1% the second you hit a hidden spending limit. So look at the small text to see if the deal is actually real. Rule number 4. Be brutally honest about annual fees. A premium card with a $700 annual fee makes sense if you utilize the travel credits and lounge access. But if you only take one road trip a year and use the lounge once just to eat a free banana and drink a Diet Coke, you are just renting a personality from a bank. Rule number 5. Know who is actually paying for your perks. Your rewards are funded by merchant fees, high interest rates, unredeemed points, and inflated prices across the economy. If you avoid fees, stay within your checking account balance, and redeem points wisely, you can benefit from the system. But the exact moment you leave a balance or overspend for points, the system starts benefiting from you. Now that you know the rules to beat them at their own game, it's time to see where you land on the spectrum of modern consumer finance. At the end of the day, if stores already bake card fees into prices, then yes, using rewards can protect your wallet, but only if you pay in full and stay inside your budget. So let's settle this in the comments. Which type of credit card user are you? Are you a deadbeat who pays in full every month? A spreadsheet-obsessed churner actively gaming the system? Or have you ever been caught in that brutal interest trap? Let me know your thoughts down below, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.